Hello, everyone. Welcome to ET Studios, powered by ServiceNow. We are at the ServiceNow event, and they've just unveiled their customer experience report for 2026. The report has some findings which highlight how there is a serious gap between what leaders are thinking and what customers feel on the ground. To understand more about the report, I have with me Mr. Sumeet Mathur, the Managing Director and Senior Vice President of ServiceNow India, and Rajesh Choudhary, is the CIO of CSB Bank. Thank you very much, Sumit. Thank you very much, Rajesh, for joining me. Before we dive into the data, I want to understand a very basic question from you. What is the one experience as a customer that you felt completely understood you and stood with you so long, and what made it different? I'll start with you, Sumit.
Cool. You know, uh, it it was just this winter. My wife and I were traveling to Dehradun for a wedding,
Mhm.
and between Delhi and Dehradun, there are many family-owned dhabas, and they serve fresh food. And when we stopped at one of them, which was run by a cute little family, uh, they first asked us, "Where are you coming from?
Mhm.
What kind of food do you like?" Uh, and then they brought things that we love. And they also added things that we didn't ask or order for
Mhm.
because they felt that it would be great for us to have that particular dish from their and the pride that they took in what they serve, how they serve, and how they valued us being individuals and our taste,
Mhm.
like remained with both me and my wife for a long time, right?
Wow.
It was very personalized, but it was also the sense of pride that they had in delivering that service that stood out for us.
Fantastic. Rajesh, your answer. As a customer, what stood with you?
Well, I think my experience is also related to one of the travels. I was living overseas and traveling to India, and a long flight, and the flight staff, they kind of spill over coffee on me,
Wow.
and I had to land and immediately get into a meeting, and then we had a conversation, and they apologized and they said we are going to fix it, and I was just wondering how will they fix it. I land in Delhi, and the staff was there with a brand new shirt with double cuffs for my cufflinks.
Correct.
I have never experienced that service in my life before, and even now, I think that's one of the undoubtedly the best customer experience I have had so far.
Wow. Both of you had your stories rooted in emotions. So, Sumit, this brings me to my next question. From your vantage point, why do you think Indian enterprises are actually underestimating emotions and emotional friction?
Yeah, I think that's because the way we have structured our organizations in the past and the metrics that we have used, it's all about efficiency.
Mhm.
Mean time to resolution has been something that we keep talking about. How fast can we resolve a customer's issue? We have never kind of laid the foundation or spent enough time training our customer service front end people on what does it mean to be empathetic, or what does it mean to delight the customer uh, in the process of serving them. So the enterprises and the business leaders need to redefine the metrics that they have for their front end employees to actually make a meaningful impact in building empathy as part of the customer service offerings.
Great. So, please double click on this for me. Are we measuring efficiency so aggressively that we have forgotten, or rather, ignored the other side of the story?
Uh, I won't use the word aggressively, but
Mhm.
I would definitely say that we have we use efficiency as a metric way more than empathy as a metric.
Okay.
All our processes are structured around time to resolve,
Hmm.
speed, how many cases were you able to resolve, right? So the way you measure is what you get.
Correct. We are now talking about AI as the CX enabler. Talk to us about, from your vantage point, how do you see AI being actually adopted to ensure CX is doing better and not just, whatever creative matrices that we keep measuring
Sure.
AI on?
It is very counterintuitive what the data said,
Yeah.
that we all think that a customer service agent spends most of his or her time resolving customer issues.
Yes.
And we found in the report that they actually spend less than 50% of their time
Yeah.
resolving customer issues, because the remaining time is being spent navigating the silos of the organization
Yes.
to unlock the data or unlock the information that they are looking for, which will help them to serve the customer. Now, the silos of an organization, whether it's the data silo or whether it's the process silo, is a big deterrent in how you can help service your customers. The first step that every organization needs to do is ensure that they can bring all the right data at the right time and overlay AI on top of it,
Yeah.
and provide that access to your frontline staff to leverage the AI in the context of that business, in the context of that customer, so that insights could be turned into actions by the customer service representative.
Correct.
So I think AI plays a very critical role in driving customer service, right? But before the organizations dive into large language models and reasoning, they also need to make sure that AI can be fueled with the right business context for the user at the right time.
Great. You have been, partnering with brands and enterprises across categories. What is the difference between an organization that's using AI as a tool versus the one that is actually restructuring the entire organization around AI?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think our survey also found that there is a significant competitive advantage for organizations that are reinventing their business processes
Correct.
using AI as an example. Right? All of us use AI in our daily life. It could be a productivity tool. It could help us do a task.
Yeah.
But for individual tasks to turn into an orchestrated end-to-end workflow that drives business outcome requires the business process to be reinvented around what AI can do for your organization. If you still have silo within your organization, and if you are layering AI on top of those silos, you're going to be digitizing the chaos.
Yeah.
You're not going to be getting the advantage that AI can provide. And that's going to be a big competitive difference between organizations that use AI to reinvent versus organizations that use AI only as a productivity task tool.
Great. This brings me to you, Rajesh. How do you do it? You operate under certain, regulatory frameworks. So how do you deploy AI, staying with that, entire regulatory framework, and at the same time not compromising on trust of your customers?
Yeah. I'll try not to use too much of technical jargon to
Sure.
respond. So one of the key component of AI is LLM, large language model. So where the intelligence is sitting. So one of the thing what we do is that we bring the LLM into our firewall, so which is sitting inside the bank's ecosystem. So that ensures that whatever data is being exposed to LLM, so that is staying with us, that is sitting within the bank's boundaries. And the regulators say that none of the data should go out of India, and we ensure that we stay compliant to that. Customer information, which is also called PII, personal identifiable information.
Yeah.
We ensure that this information is not exposed in any shape and form, because this is the property of the customer. This does not belong to bank. This does not belong to anybody else. So we ensure that this information is masked at all the time whenever this information moves from A to B to C. And we have got a big information security ecosystem that ensures that whatever is going inside the AI ecosystem is absolutely compliant to data security, to information security, to various master directions from the regulator. These are all the steps and measures what we take to ensure that every information related to customer is safe. Whatever processing is being done within our ecosystem and nothing is going out.
Great. Now, do you think AI can help you in easy handoffs? And I ask you this question as a customer because each time I'm facing a problem, I'm reaching out to the customer care.
Yeah,
I have to repeat my journey again and again and again and
yeah,
again.
yeah,
I don't want to do it anymore. So,
yeah.
do you think AI can actually help you there?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have got bots, AI agents, and they speak just like you and me.
Mhm.
And you interrupt them, they will understand, and they will respond patiently. You call them out and inform or explain your problem. Once your call gets disconnected, you call that number again. The same agent will pick the call, and you don't have to repeat any of that thing once again, because that's available with the agent. You can also request that the same agent attends you whenever you call every time, so that you have got that consistent experience, and that will happen all the time. And everything, all the information related to you, all the problems or issues related to your previous experiences, everything is known.
Hmm.
So I think AI is perfect candidate for these kind of issues to provide consistent experience to the customers.
Correct. He mentions agents, and this brings me to you, Sumit. Your report finds that agents are actually, investing their 50% energy in solving admin or departmental silo-related issues. So, given this circumstance, who needs most empowering today? Do we need to empower the systems? Do we need to empower the employees or the leadership to actually ensure departmental silos are dealt with?
Yeah, no, I think we definitely need to empower our customer service representatives more.
Hmm.
But for them to be empowered, the leaders needs to pave the path that it can happen.
Yeah.
By that, what I mean is the leaders needs to provide the right foundational infrastructure,
Hmm.
whether it's data to be the right place at the right time with the right entitlements for it to be accessed by AI, whether it's about uh, laying out the right AI on top of the data, and then bringing it all in the flow of work. What you do not want is to give agents a set of AI tools, but then ask them to do swivel chair and use AI in a different tool in a different context than where they are working to solve the customer problem.
Yeah.
So if you put your customer at the center of everything that you do,
Mhm.
and you use customer service representatives as the means for you to deliver that experience, then I think empowering the customer service representatives will empower your customer.
Yeah, great. Rajesh, coming to you, you mentioned about how AI can actually solve many of the problems that I highlighted in my previous question.
Yeah,
But also, you are from an industry where emotions is high. I am reaching out to you only when my loan has been either rejected or my
yeah,
card is misplaced or I'm in
yeah,
tension.
yeah,
And how do you then decide where AI should take the call and where human intervention should oversee everything else?
yeah. So the agents have been programmed in such a way that they look at various parameters of customer voice,
Hmm.
and when they see that there is bit of frustration, there is some specific area where the agent is not programmed to handle those things in a very structured or specific way, the call gets transferred to a human agent. And given that human agents are now have got very specific tasks, not the generic task of dealing with each and every call. So they are trained and structured in a different way, that they are only handling very specific calls.
Hmm.
So they are more prepared to answer those questions. So they have been told that how the empathy, how the listening is more important than just saying and talking. So I think but it's a journey, so we have just started that. It's a new thing, and I think with more and more data coming our way, more and more feedback coming our way, I think we will be able to uh, train our LLM model in a better way, and also train our human agents in a better way to serve the customers.
Great. I'm at the last part of the discussion, but before I let you gentlemen go, I want to understand who will win in CX in the next 18 months. What is the winning mantra from you, Sumit?
Um, the organization that is able to put customer at the center
Hmm.
of reinventing the business process using data AI in the flow of work on a secure, trusted environment, so your customers feel confident that the service they are getting is um, compliant and secure, and their data is secure, is I think the enterprise that's going to win.
Fantastic. Rajesh, speed, empathy, or platform integration. What's the winning mantra for
I
sales?
think the change what we are experiencing is for real, and the organizations which are not uh, going to adopt the change, they are going to struggle with their relevance and with respect to competition. And organizations which are flexible will understand the change, will adopt, and will stay relevant. Empathy is important, speed is important, one platform is important. I don't have to choose one. I think it's combination of everything. So big transformation, big change. Enterprises which adopt this will be successful.
Great. What you say fills the hall with perfumes of promise. Thank you very much, Mr. Rajesh. Thank you very much, Sumit, for your time.
Thank
Lovely
you.
having
Pleasure,
this
Anirban.
conversation.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.